So many thoughts and it's twisting my head. You know that I want you so bad. Remember the sun and the beach right outside. Took a little time, here we go again. You know I'll always stay. Every little thing that I said I would do, how I wish I could share it with you. The sun comes up my way. We can go on and on for days. Remember the sun and the beach when I said. Took a little time, here we go again. You know I'll always stay. Every little thing that I said I would do, how I wish I could share it with you. You know I'll always stay. Every little thing that I said I would do, how I wish I could share it with you.
I be fucking bored till I die. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I wish you guys have a good Friday. There's not that many people playing today, so I'm not sure like how long we'll be playing for. But we'll be playing as long as there's enough action going around. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday so far. Here on this flop, we're actually just gonna probably check behind. We do have backdoor flush draw, and then just gonna bet a little bit. We do take it down. Mid position raise and call our 3-bets, and then dunk bet into us. He could be doing this with a set, but I just don't think he will do that. We're just gonna put in a little raise actually. Actually, we're just gonna call and then see a turn. That's a pretty good turn. He almost never have a 6 in his range. And then now he has, less likely he has pocket 6s, so he only has pocket 5s. Two combos of pocket 5 for a boat. He's never having kings here, so we almost for sure that we have the best hand here. Against this bet, we're definitely gonna put in a raise. And then get it in. He can have some ace king and king queen here. And I'm just gonna get it in on the river. Don't see him folding a king here. King queen ace king is calling. He does call with king 9, so that guy is a pretty fishy player. Here we're just gonna do a small c-bet. Here's without a club, we're just gonna fold. Open this straight draw is pretty worthless there. I'm not gonna defend with Jack 3 suited. Here, so this guy's obviously a fish. He raised mid position with king 9 offsuit. That's the first mistake. The second mistake is that he called a pre-flop out of position with king 9 offsuit. This is an easy fold. Third mistake is that he dunk bet the flop when he flopped top pair when he should have just check call. Fourth mistake is that he led the turn when we called the flop. And fifth mistake was obviously check calling the river. I mean, actually, bet call a raise on turn. And then sixth mistake is that he check call a jam. So he made 6 mistakes there in one hand. That makes him a total fish. Good for us though. Dorito Dolphin. Just gonna remember his name, and so we can, you know, make some notes next time. We do win with ace high, that's pretty nice. Here facing a 3-bet, we're just gonna fold here. In some frequency we can call. This guy normally don't see bet, so if he see bet here, we're probably not gonna check raise. We'll see what he does. He bet pretty big, so we're gonna give him credit for like a pocket pair, if not like very strong ace. Here we do got dunk bet again. With the ace high, I think we're gonna call at least the flop. Does check on the turn. He'll play it this way with like any kind of pocket pairs, like pocket fives, pocket sixes. He'll play this way. I think we're gonna. If we're gonna bet, then we have to bet this, and then he's gonna call this, and we have to bet the river because it's never folding to the turn bet. Here we turn a pair 5, which is gonna call. We're just gonna check behind against an unknown player because we don't know what he's capable of. So we're just gonna check behind, and I expect us to win very often. We do win, and then he was just gonna check it down, and I expect to see a lot of pocket pairs. He only has a 3. That's kind of weird. Just gonna give you a fish tag. Just a recreational player. Nothing really. Nothing is wrong being a fishy type of player. As long as you're having a good time. This game is supposed to be fun anyways. Not supposed to take it too seriously. Here on a dry ball, we're just gonna put a small c-bet against a pretty stationary player. Call 60% of the time. And here against small c-bet, we're just gonna call and then see a turn. We do turn flush draw and open this straight draw. We're actually gonna lead out here. And he does call, and then we're gonna barrel the turn pretty big. Hopefully he doesn't have king queen. I think he might raise pre-flop with king queen. And here we do just pick up the pot, which is nice. King jack offsuit cutoff is definitely open. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, surprisingly there's only 55 player in 57 player in the pool today. Normally it's around like 100 around this time. Maybe it's a Friday. I don't know what it is. I think on a weekend normally it's less people. It's not only regular though, still a lot of recreational players, so the game wasn't too bad. Even it's all regular player, I'm totally fine because even the regular at this level, I don't think they're the greatest. This guy's definitely a fish with that kind of stats. The game would just be like slower, like you see those tables just not moving because there's not enough player to fill the tables. So it'd be a little bit slower than normal, so we're probably not gonna get like 800 hands per hour, probably get like something like 600 hands per hour. But not gonna complain though, it's not the worst. King 8 offsuit just gonna fold. Just gonna fold ace 8. Here with king 10 off, so we're just gonna fold. If it's suited, we'll probably call and see a flop. Not gonna defend with 6-4 off against under the gun race. We do get a 3-bet here with king 10 suited. Definitely gonna call and see a flop. We do flop middle pair, so if you see that, we're gonna call at least once. And here against a smaller stack, we're just gonna fold a jack 9 because it's not worth it even if we hit it. Here he checked. We're just gonna check behind actually. This is not the greatest turn. He could have a lot of king jack, but I do expect him to see back king jack though. He bet pretty big. We're just gonna call and then see the river. I just think that he's almost always gonna see bet king jack. He do check. There's no reason for us to bet here. He could be doing this with just a queen, but I still think that he will c-bet a queen. Even though he doesn't have the highest c-bet percentage, we're just gonna call, check behind. Hopefully we win the pot against like pocket eights or something. He does have ace king, and then we do take down the pot. That's very nice. I'll flopped him pretty well. I do see a lot of recreational players. You see this table is like full of fishes, which is very good for us. Here on this board, we're just gonna do a c-bet, small c-bet, and then give up if it's called. This guy is just gonna be a fish, playing super passively, and this guy is already a fish tag. We're actually gonna raise to like 14 to isolate those limpers. And we do turn a sat here. 10A also gets there, but we're not gonna worry about that for now. We're just gonna c-bet. And he does call. I expect him to have a lot of small pairs. If we have ace of diamond here, I'm leaning more towards just checking. Since we don't have that, we're just gonna do a small c-bet. Hopefully call with like king queen or something. And here we do get call again. I'm outputting on an ace at this point, because I think if he had a straight, he probably raised the turn, because he won maximum value from a better ace. I mean, he won like value from like draws and stuff. Excuse me. We're just gonna bet like 30. I think that's the amount that an ace can call. Here we're obviously gonna barrel pretty big and then try to get it in on the river. We don't really lose much, only losing to a 4, but I don't think he'll limp and then call like a 7x raise with the 4. Doesn't make too much sense. We blocked the not flush draw, so I don't think he has that many flush draw. We're just gonna jam here actually against a fishy type of player. Of course we might be beat here sometimes, but it's just we need maximum value. He's never folding like any kind of pair. He can have like 10-9 and then he's not folding, 10-8 he's not folding, and then we beat all of these hands. Here against a fish player, open that big, we're just gonna put in a 3-bet and get it in. Here I do see him calling us with like any kind of pair, because we can be doing this with 2 diamonds and then we miss our draw and then we pull this move. And this kind of player is like non-believer and then he's like super stationary, so he's just gonna call with any pair pretty much. If he fold here, that means he doesn't even have a pair. Here just gonna get it in on this flop. Pretty good flop for queens. We're just gonna flat call with ace queen suited here instead of 3-betting. Oh man, we got slow rolled. Holy shit. Holy shit, he had like a... Oh my god, what was he doing? This guy's crazy. So he called the gut shot, turn double gutter, and then get there on the river. Oh my god, that's just very unfortunate. Here we're definitely gonna check. Actually, we're just gonna call here. That's very unfortunate. That's just super unlucky. Holy shit. But against a fish, I mean, it's better than losing to a regular, you know? At least knowing that, you know, we can get the money back. Here he does barrel, and then we're gonna put in a huge raise here. I don't expect him to raise under the gun with queen 10, so most likely we have the best hand. The only hand we are losing is pocket 10s. If that's it, then it's just another cooler. We just have to lose our stack. There's no way around it. What was his name? The guy who made that play with the... He was just gonna bet for value, I think. Here we're gonna barrel. Ace is really good for our range and it's not good for his. And we do get call again. We're gonna go triple here. We do get called fairly quickly. He has 2 pair. There's nothing we can do there. Just unfortunate. Here we're just gonna do a c-bet. Trying to find out what's the guy's name. Pee-wee Rudy. Okay, that guy's obviously a fish. Here on 7-8 suited, we're just gonna call and see a flop. Not the greatest flop. Just gonna check fold. I think that guy might have just hit and run because I never seen him before. After a huge suck out like that, they normally just hit and run, but it's okay because he's gonna come back to the pool and then he's gonna lose it to like someone else. Sucks for us that he took our money, but that's okay. Here facing a 4-bet, pocket nice. I mean, we still beat ace king. 3. We're actually just gonna fold here. I'm just gonna check here. Did we win that hand? We did. Pocket 8s, just gonna raise. Here, pocket 10s, just gonna put in a 3-bet. Yeah, I don't see those fishes that took our money. Probably just ran away, which is fine. They will come back and lose to other regulars. That's normally the way it goes. Flop top pair, obviously gonna continue. Gonna see bet a little bigger, a little over half the pot against 2 players. This guy's gotta be a fish. Just gonna put in a 3-bet. Here we do got call. On the turn we're gonna barrel pretty big. A lot of flush draw and straight draw, and then pretty good turn. Here on this board, just gonna do like a small c-bet and get it in. Actually, we're gonna bet like small and then get it in on turn. We turn top set. Queen Knight gets there. I don't think that's what he has. Just gonna get it in. Oh, he has ace queen. Holy shit. Oh wow, this is the second time we got gut shot today. Yes, I can. What kind of graph you want to see? Like, just overall, or? Here it is. I'm gonna leave it there for a little bit. Hopefully the action doesn't catch up. You can take a screenshot or something. This is like starting, I think, like late May or something. So the past 2 months. Queen jack open, and this straight draw. Gonna put a small c-bet. Yeah, we've been like really, we ran like pretty bad this session so far. Like we got hit by 2 gut shot against 2 very fishy player. It's unfortunate. Here against a station like this, we're just gonna check behind with our draw. And here check again, we're just gonna give up because I don't think this type of player will ever like fold to a bluff. I only start playing during COVID time, so I don't have the data. Like I used to play a lot like 10 years ago, but the red line, so I'm not like a crazy maniac type of style. I'll show you the red line. I'm like red line is like going down, but not like crazy kind of going down. Obviously the data from 10 years ago, I don't have it anymore, but I was always around like 5 BB per 100. So here's a graph. Yeah, that ace queen, that happened like twice. It happened a little bit earlier in the stream too. Like it was against like a fish player, and unfortunately, like he called like a 3-bet, like he limp and then called a huge 7x raise with 7-6 off, and then he flop got shot, call a c-bet, and then turn double gutter, and then call a huge pot bet, and then get there on the river, and then he slow roll me. He got there on the river, and then we had pocket aces that time. Pretty sick, but that's part of the game. Here's the graph if you want to see it. This is big blind, so this is like big blind amount. Hopefully you can take a screenshot and then you can look at it later, since I'm in the middle of session, so I can really do shit. Okay, here check. We're gonna start betting the turn after the flop got checked around. Yeah, like we have been running pretty bad in July. I think we ran like almost like 10 buying behind our EV, like 10 buying behind EV, and then we're still like break even. I think we're slightly up, which is like pretty good consider the way we ran. And then not just the EV, like we ran into a lot of really brutal situation, like top 2 versus rain 2 bottom set, you know, top trips with ace kicker, rain to like a bolt. It's just nothing has been going wrong, going right for us this month so far. But it's only been like 10 days. We can obviously turn it around. Yeah, if you have any question, just here facing this guy's 4-bet. He never 4-bets in 36 hands, so we actually just gonna fold nice here. It's a little bit a tight fold, but against his, like, he never 4-bets, so his range is like aces kings. I don't even think he does it with the ace king, so we're pretty screwed here. We're just gonna fold. Against that c-bet, we're just gonna fold with the gut shot. And here, this is not the greatest flop for c-betting. We're just gonna check behind because in his big blind calling range, he has a lot of 10-9, 10-7, Jack-9, those type of hands. So yeah, hopefully things gonna turn around pretty soon, because it sucks to be running like shit, but you know. And here he checked the second time. We're still not gonna bet though, because like it just hit a lot of his range. I just don't think he's folding much here. And he checked the third time, just hope that ace high is the best hand. Of course he can have like pocket deuces or something. He does have a 5, but I don't see him folding the turn. Maybe he would, but it's a small pot, no big deal. Yep, hopefully we can turn around pretty soon. Running 10 buy-ins behind EV in like 30 hours. That kind of suck, but what can you do, right? Here we're not gonna see that, just check behind. Third diamond gets there. Blind versus blind against this player, we're just gonna check with ace jack here. Here we're gonna start betting and try to take it away since he checked the second time. He does call. I expect to see a lot of queen and a lot of jacks. He's never folding the river almost. If he was drawing with ace of diamond, then we probably still have the best hand. He does have a straight. Good thing we didn't go for it. Here, river a jack. We're just gonna bet like half the pot for value. Hopefully look us up with like a 9 or something, because we could obviously have like miss flush draw. Pocket 7 versus big blind 3-bet is definitely gonna call and play in position. Not folding on this flop. pretty comfortable gonna call this flop. Knight doesn't change much. It's not in his 3-betting range. If we beat him pre-flop, we still beat him. He bet very small. This could bring two things. It could mean that he has ace king. It could mean that he has ace king, ace jack. It could mean that he has a pocket pair. If he has a pocket pair, it's pocket jacks or pocket tens. So we don't beat that. We still beat all the ace high though, and then we still have a lot of queen in our range. He could also be doing this with the queen. But it's just such a small bet. We're just gonna call and see what he does on the river. And he does bet $2, and I'm thinking if we should turn our hands into a bluff, because I don't think he's ever doing this with the queen. I think he has a lot of tens and jacks, pocket eights or something like that. We're just gonna call. I think he has a lot of ace high as well. Hopefully that's what he has. Oh, he has pocket eights. Too pussy to pull the trigger. Probably should have just raised. But I think if we had queen, we would raise the turn. So if we didn't raise the turn, like raising the river is like kind of weird. Because he bet really small on the turn. I think if we have a queen, we're raising the turn. I don't know how much credit it's gonna give it to us when we check the turn. I mean when we just call the turn and then all of a sudden come out betting on the river. I don't think we do that with queen that much. I could be wrong though. I mean, hindsight 2020, seeing that he has pocket eights, of course we're gonna be thinking that we should probably just go with our guts and then just go for the raise on the river bluff. But you know, he could have a queen there, obviously. Just gonna fold. A7 suited here is mostly it's a fold. But since we have not been getting that many good hands, so we can open a little bit wider. 7-8 suited is like you can open it like maybe 30% of the time. But most of the time just a fold though, because it's not really plus EV to raise under the gun with 7-8 suited. Here Jack 9 suited we can 3-bet. Actually gonna go for it. It's a 3-bet or fold situation. Like calling here is just never ideal. And we do get 4-bet. That's unfortunate. We just have to kind of fold. Because his range is very strong. Because he raised under the gun, and then we 3-bet against the under the gun raise. So it means that our range is super strong, and then he still doesn't give a shit and just put in 4-bet. So he has a lot of good hands here. I would say like minimum ace queen. If the 4-bet is coming from the blinds, then it's even stronger. It's almost always like aces, kings, ace, king, queens. And people just never bluff in those spots. Here we flop top set, which is a nuts. We're just gonna do a small c-bet and then see what he does. Here with pocket fours, well, if we want to play, we're gonna put in a 3-bet. Just gonna fold there. He never have kings here, so we still have the nuts. He could have like a lot of 10-9. He could have a jack, but we block jacks, so I don't think he has a jack. I think most likely he has a lot of 8s. We're just gonna put in a second barrel, and then I expect a lot of fold here because he just doesn't have a jack that often when we have 2 jacks. We're gonna 3-bet with ace 5 suited. If he calls here, I'm like, okay, so he raised, that's good. That means that he could have pocket deuces and pocket 8s, or he could have like king 8s. Here we're gonna put in 4-bet with ace king, and then just get it in. And here we're just gonna put in another raise, because I think he has a lot of sets here, a lot of pocket deuces, pocket 8s, king 8s type of hands, or even king jack. That'll be like pretty brutal for him. Here we're just gonna call and then run into kings. We're just gonna raise it to like 90. We don't get there, but that's just a cooler. Nothing we can do. Nice hand. Here we're just gonna put in a 3-bet. Nice. Small blind. I expect him to have a lot of sets, so he's gonna jam. He just call, and then we're gonna. It's kind of like a shitty river, cause flush gets there. So if he has like something like backdoor, like 10-9 of hearts or something, we're gonna do a small c-bet here. If you have like 10-9 of hearts, but since he check, I don't think he has that hand. If he had 10-9 of hearts and get there on the river, he's obviously shoving. So we're just gonna go for the jam. I expect to see a lot of 2 pairs here. Nah, I don't think he's ever folding. I guess he folded. I don't know what he would be having there, because everything gets there if he was on a draw and then he just checked the river. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he had a king, like king queen, something like that. But it doesn't really make sense to check raise the turn with king queen and then call a 3-bet with it. It just kind of spew it, spazzing. Not gonna defend with 7-4 suited, it's just a little bit too weak. Ace Jack against mid position open. Against this guy, he folds to 3-bet like almost all the time so far. We're just gonna put a little bit pressure on him, since he doesn't seem like somebody who's comfortable playing against 3-bets. Here, if we want to play Jack 9 suited, it's definitely gonna put in a 3-bet. But against this player, he just doesn't fold to that many 3-bets. And then folding is probably the best play here. Here we flop middle pair. We're just gonna put in a small c-bet, and we do face a 4-bet, and then it's the first time he does that. We're gonna give him credit for a real hand, and Ace Jack offsuit is not really a best hand to defend against 4-bet anyways. I'd rather call with like 7-9 suited, 7-8 suited, 9-8 suited, something like that. Here he checked the second time. Obviously he could have a 10 here, but we're just gonna bet and then protect against like a straight draw. He has a lot of 8s here. 7-8 type of hands, we're still ahead. That's actually a pretty good river, because that makes him less likely to have a 10. We're just gonna check behind. I expect us to win quite often here against maybe like 7-8 or something. Same hand. Okay. How many players are there in the pool? Oh, it gets more. 68 players now, so it's not bad. Just hope that we run a little better. I'm not gonna defend against mid position open. Ace-9 offsuit just gets dominated very often. In here, we're actually just gonna call. I normally never call in small blinds. Normally it's a 3-bet or a fold, but since this guy, a very fishy player, and then he took our money, obviously, we're just gonna call, and then I don't see him 3-betting that much, so he's just gonna call. I don't think he ever squeeze here, and then we can see a flop, and then hopefully we can flop a set. And this guy is kind of fishy too. Unfortunately, that's not a flop we want to see. Just gonna check fold. Like, I'm mainly a live player. Like, I just start playing online. I stopped playing online like 10 years ago when Black Friday occurs, and then play a lot of live. 10-20 live, 10-20, 5-10, uncapped. I'm just gonna check behind with king queen high. he checked the second time. We're just gonna start betting and try to take it away. Gonna defend with 7-5 off suited. Gut shot flush, gut shot straight draw. Not the greatest, which is probably just gonna check fold. Online definitely plays a lot different than live. Took some time to adjust. Here against this guy, we're just gonna flower ace jack. I think online player are more aggressive pre-flop. Live player are a little bit more tricky. Online game is a little tougher. I'll say 1-2 plays a little tougher than, probably a little tougher than 5-10 live. 10-20 I think is harder than 1-2. Here against this C-bet, we're just gonna call with ace high. And then we do turn an ace and just gonna check to him. I almost like for sure like he's almost betting this turn. Almost like every time he would bet this turn. And then obviously we're just gonna call. And here we're just gonna check again. He does overbet. We're not folding though. Probably call and then see what he does on the river. I'm just gonna check and then see what he does. He does check behind. I do expect us to win. He has a set. Wow, that's kind of weird. That's the way we run. Actually, not surprised to see it. We only lose like a little bit of money, which is like pretty amazing. Here against 3-bet, this guy 3-bet like 19% of the time. We're just gonna put in a 4-bet. Possibly get it in. He just 3-bets way too often, and he 4-bets very often. Never fold to 4-bet. So blind versus blind. I mean, ace queen suited is pretty strong. I'm not sure if we can give him credit. I think we have to call. I almost never call with ace queen suited, but because this guy is like, his 3-bet range is so high and he never folds to 4-bet, I think we have to go for it. It might be a back call against ace king, but you know, we just have to go for it. He has jacks, that's not bad. Can we win a race? We cannot. That's the way it goes. Very difficult to win a race nowadays. Like, I've been losing so many flips. I think I lost like maybe like 8 out of the past 9 or like 8 out of past 10, something like that. So I've been running like so many buying behind EV. But pretty happy with the call. Now, you know, facing jacks, definitely gonna make that call. Because that guy just never like fold to 4-bet, and then he 3-bet at the 20% clip, which is not gonna fold our ace queen suited there. It's just too strong to fold against a player like that. Against any other regular, it's a pretty simple fold. Got cold called by this guy. That normally means like a small pocket pair. Like a good player would never do that. Pretty good flop for our hands. We have the not flush draw, and then we do have aces. Probably gonna bet pretty big on the flop though. We did got dunk bet into. I'm thinking we should put in a raise. Not exactly sure what he's dunk betting with. I think we're just gonna call here. Our hand's too strong. We have the ace of hearts, so we're not really too worried about anything. If he had a stack, he had us crush anyways. If he's bluffing, we just let him keep bluffing. Here, queen 10 suited, we can definitely see a flop. He does jam. Since we blocked the not flush draw, I mean, what could he have? Like queen jack of heart? I don't think we're folding here. But he overjams, so that makes it like kind of weird. And then we do block the not flush draw, so he doesn't have that. It's kind of awkward. I think he have a set here, really. Can we fold though? I think he has a set here. Just the way he played the hand. The notes is irrelevant to whatever he's doing. What can he have though? King, queen. It's really a tough spot. I really think he has a set. If he has that, we have like 25% equity or something like that. I actually think we're gonna fold here. I just don't think how he's doing this with less than one pair. I think we're gonna fold. Here we're gonna barrel. Yeah, we're just gonna fold. It's unfortunate, but I don't think he's doing that with one pair. Just feel like a set, or at least a two pair. Kind of suck. Especially he dunk bet to us and into two players, so I don't think he's ever bluffing there that way. Because we have all the ace king with the ace of heart, and then he's not afraid of that. So obviously that means he has a set or a flush. Here we're gonna 4-bet and then get it in. Never folding after we put in a 4-bet. Since the cutoff raise, button 3-bet, never folding here. He does call. We're gonna put in a small c-bet. I hope it's a good fold. I think it is. I mean, we really don't beat anything there with the way he bet, because we have all the ace king with ace of heart, and then he doesn't seem to care, and then just double pot jam the turn. So yeah, I think it's I think we're like way behind there. Here I don't like calling. If we are playing sevens, we have to put in 4-bet. Hopefully that was a good fold. Thanks for the comment, but you know, I can be wrong, but I just don't see how aces was the best hand there, because we have at least ace king there. With or without a heart, that's still a hand that most people wouldn't fold. So he just dunk bet the flop against two players, and then he just like, you know, right out of the gate just jam double the pot on the turn. When a brick hit, it's just screaming set to me. At least a two pair, or he could even have a flush. Here, I don't think we're ever folding ace king here. 120 big blind, 110 big blind. It's just unfortunate that we kept running into this kind of situation, and we have kings, and then ace will have to come on the flop. This guy never 4-bets too. I actually think ace king is okay to fold here. But this guy's calling change everything. I was just gonna call. If we ran into aces, so be it. This guy kind of messed up everything. If he didn't like call, he probably would do this less likely. We do have the second hand, which is good. We do have a free draw, and we don't get there. Here he checked the third time. I expect to see a lot of ace here. Just afraid of diamonds, so he's checking the river. He does have pocket fives, so glad we won that one. Definitely got a 3-bet with ace-10 suited against cutoff button open. I think we're gonna start losing up a little bit. I think our stats are a little bit too tight. Not like it matters though, like we've been playing this game for so long, like people know like we're capable, what we are capable of, so short-term stats doesn't really matter. But I like to keep it at a certain range, like 22, 19, something like that. Here against this guy, we're just gonna defend, because he's a bad player. If we connect with the right flop, then we can win a lot of money. Oh, here we're actually gonna go for a check call here. We do force face a 3-bet, 4-bet this time, and we're gonna jam. A little deeper, but 300. Actually, we're gonna call. We're a little deeper. And we're gonna check again here. And we do flop top pair top kicker. Obviously he can have aces and kings, but after seeing this flop, like we're not folding our hands. If he has aces and kings, so be it. There's nothing really we can do. It's a bummer. And he barreled the second time, we're just gonna fold. I was hoping that he'll check the turn and then we can bet and take away on the river. Sucks we don't have that much time bank here. I'm gonna full king jack against mid position open. Whatever he bets, I think we're jamming. Just never folding ace king here in 4-bet pot. I'm gonna do a c-bet. We're just gonna jam here. Actually, I think calling is fine, but if we call, pot is gonna be 270, and then he's gonna jam the river, so might as well just jam. Good thing he didn't snap call. That means we probably have the best hand. I don't see how he can call though. I mean, he could have king queen, but I'm just gonna call it when we hit the ace. Same hand. Same hand. A lot of work for nothing. Wasn't really sweating though. Once we hit the king, like we're going with it. I don't know, like why he didn't like just snap call there, cause he's never folding ace king there. I'm gonna put in 3-bet with 10 jack suited. Here, obviously calling 4-way 6-7 suited, pretty good hands. Here with the flush draw out there, and then against a stationary player, we're just gonna barrel, and then hopefully, our barrel is basically charging flush draws. He could obviously have an ace, but if he has an ace, we're still gonna probably call the river, so we still lose 2 streets of value anyways. So might as well use it here. Here, 10 jack facing a 4-bet. Probably just gonna fold. This guy doesn't 4-bet that much. And here, if he has like queen of club, like he has a flush draw and then one of the cards is queen, that would really suck. Oh, he just let out. That is extremely weird. I don't think it's ever bluffing here though. I'm trying to think what hand he could possibly do this with. Just feel like a lot of random 2 pairs. He just check call, and then all of a sudden bet out river, half pot. It just doesn't make sense. Just gonna fold. We're gonna fold king queen against under the gun raise. Here with the ace, just gonna c-bet. Ace 4 suited, we're gonna put in a 3-bet in the small blind. Here, just gonna fold. Fold. Seven. On this flop, we're gonna see bet a little bit bigger. Against this player, we're just gonna put in a small c bet on this flop. He way over folds to c bet. When somebody doesn't play with the full stack, you just automatically assume that they're some kind of fish. And we're just gonna force small c-bet because against a weaker player, they just don't defend enough against c-bet. He did there. On 10, we're just gonna check. There's no reason to barrel here. We're gonna bet the turn. It's fishing player, limp again. We're gonna just isolate him. Greatest flop for pocket tens, but it's not that bad for our range, so we can go ahead and put in a c-bet. I mean, even though it looks like a very terrible flop, but against our 3-betting range, it's actually really good for us. And then against his limp calling range, like this flop doesn't connect with him that much, so I do expect him to fold a lot there. He doesn't fold. We did turn a set. Just gonna keep barreling for value. And here with ace queen, we're just gonna put in a 4-bet. Here we're facing 4-bet, we're just gonna fold. And here we do have a boat, we're gonna overbet this actually. I think jamming might be the best player here. Oh shit, there's no time. We're actually gonna jam here actually. I just don't think he's folding a jack ever. And he's never have anything better since he's just lane pre-flop. Let's just do that. He does fold. I'm not even sure like what he has there. Like I think he has like absolutely just nothing. I think he's folding to like a 20 bucks bet. Because he lane pre-flop. Like what can he have on an ace, king, queen, jack, queen 10 board? Like just doesn't have anything. So might as well just like plant a seed in his mind that we're gonna, we double X, jam the river, and then next time like he might play a little bit, he might make a little bit more mistake against us. Against the worst player, we can see a flop, and here we're 3-betting with pocket eights. Oh, with backdoor flush draw. We're just gonna fold. We do face 4-bet again. I feel like every time we 3-bet, we just face 4-bet. It's either like we're running like shit, just keep running into stronger hands. And this guy 4-bets like 2% of the time, so nothing we can do. Just gonna give him credit. Kind of suck though. But that's still better than just calling in small blind and then lose more money out of position. We're probably just gonna reset this table because we don't have that much time bank. Just so that when we are in a big decision, like we have enough time to think about it. When we have like 1 second, it's like really rushed. We turn a gut shot, actually double gutter to go with our flush draw. Definitely gonna barrel here, and he dunk bet to us. He's saying he has ace deuce. That's the only hand that makes sense, but we're not gonna fold. Just gonna call. Thinking about should we raise? No, just call. And then obviously with the way we run today, we don't get there. Plenty of outs, just don't get there. And here, facing a squeeze with Jack 10 offsuit, which is gonna fold. Facing a limp, we're gonna raise a little bigger. Just gonna check behind. No reason to bet here. Oh wow, just a pocket sixes. Oh well. Here we're gonna do a small c bet. I'm just gonna start a new table because that table has no time bank left. Okay, this jacks. On this flop, we're just gonna check against two players. King Queen suited here is it's a fold. The reason why we fold there is because under the gun raise is generally pretty strong, and then button 3 bets, so that means he's even stronger, sort of. And then King Queen suited just doesn't play it that well. Out of position against their range. If we had the button there, like 4 betting was an option. Not gonna play 9-10 suited. Here, without too much equity, we're just gonna still putting a c-bet. If it's called, then we just kind of shut down. And when we had aces, we have no action. Kind of suck. Calling blind versus blind with Queen Knight. That's a shitty flop. Just gonna fold. Our hands have like no potential to do anything. King Queen and shitty flop. We're just gonna check behind. He checked the second time, we're just gonna try to bet and take it away. Got check raise, okay. Obviously we're not calling. One of those days. It's been like this for a couple days in a row, where we feel like every time we make a move, it's a wrong move. Every time when we have a really strong hand, people have the nuts. Against this guy's 3-bet, his 3-betting range is very tight. That actually means our 6-8 suited actually plays really well against his 3-betting range. So in here, I'd rather call with 6-8 suited versus, let's say, King Queen. because king queen just gets dominated by his 3-betting range so much because he 3-bet at the 2% clips, 3% clips. So king queen gets dominated here way more often than 6-8 suited. Just gonna call and check calling again. Just gonna put in 3-bet here, king queen off, and we're gonna bet for value here. Hopefully he has a jack. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw against 2 players who never fold to c-bet. Just gonna check. Like sometimes when the player pool is like super easy, like a lot of fishes, like, but if you run like shit, you'll lose way more money versus when you're playing against a pool full of regulars. Just because fish never folds, so there's less outplay potential. So today's pool is a lot of fish type of player, bad player, but at the same time, like if you don't run good, you just lose like a lot of money because people never fold to you, and then people call you when they shouldn't call you. Versus if you are playing in a pool where they're like 70-80% regulars, and there's a lot of room for you to outplay them. So when you run like shit, you actually could get away with it easier, if that makes sense. Here we flop a straight. He never have ace king here, so we're just gonna bet. He does call, and then we do have a straight flush. Just gonna keep barreling. And here, facing an under the gun raise and a small blind 3-bet. 4-betting here is a huge mistake. I can even make a case for fold here. But against this 2 particular player, I was gonna check here anyways. Actually, I was gonna barrel, but we time out. Shit. Here we're just gonna fold. And here we're gonna bet a river. Hopefully he has something like, you know, a boat or something. Let's just call. I think we missed 1 street of value. Got timeout there. That's a downside of streaming. Sometimes we try to explain what we do, and you know, miss out on a hand, but it's okay. Because the purpose of streaming is not. Yeah, he called with just a 6. I guess he would fold to the second barrel anyways. So we probably made the maximum value there, but we didn't mean to checking the turn. Was mean to barrel. And here we 3-bet, and then we facing a 4-bet again. Like, this is kind of like getting ridiculous. Someone who never 4-bets though, so we're not gonna do 2. You know, just gonna fold. This guy probably never fold. Gonna check again. And then here against this guy. I'm gonna call with ace high here actually. We don't hate our hands. Just gonna. Really tempting to call with ace high here. I'm not sure what he has. We're actually gonna call with ace high. I mean, he could have like some pocket pair, but I don't see him betting like this. He does have pocket tens. That's unfortunate. But I think he has a lot of bluffs there too. Let's do a small c-bet. With 3-bet, we're gonna put in a small c-bet, and if it's called in, we just shut down because like the flop just doesn't connect with our hand at all. Sometimes the way it goes, just never connect with the board. We do pair the queen though, so we do beat pocket jacks, pocket tens now, which is what he have a lot of time. If he had an ace, he probably bet here. We might suck out, and then we did suck out. Yeah, during weekend, it's either you run decent and then you win a lot of money, but if you run like shit during the weekend, it's normally a bloodshed because people never fold to you, and then people overcall with a lot of bad draws. And then when you're bad luck, people are just gonna hit their hands against you, and then that's where you lose a lot of money. But so if you ask me like which game I prefer, I actually don't care either way, because I don't even think the regulars in this level is that strong. Here, just gonna do a small c-bet. Here, like we raise with jacks, and then oh, it's gonna be an ace on the flop, but we're definitely gonna c-bet and then just range betting because we have a lot of ace king, ace queen in our hand, in our range. Just gonna go here. And sometimes when you keep facing like 3-bet, 4-bets, like feel like you're being run over, you just have to like keep your discipline, because this kind of day happens to every poker player. So you don't necessarily have to feel, you know, just tilt it over that. He was just gonna check behind, and we river jack, which is literally the nuts. I'm gonna bet. Yeah, when you feel like every time you raise, people 3-bet you, every time you 3-bet, people 4-bet you, and you feel like you're being run over, it's not necessarily the case. It happens to everyone when, you know, doing a session where it's kind of like running like crap. You just have to keep your discipline. Here, check the second time we're gonna start betting. It's fine to fold, you know. It's better to fold than overthinking that your people are making a play on you, and then you ended up making mistake and lose more money. Like here, like we bet the turn, he check raise, like he's not wrapping much, like he's wrapping like Jack 10, but like we don't have any hands to go to catch this bluff with. So we just have to fold. Like it's just the correct play. Don't have to overthink those spots. I know it can be frustrating, like when you feel like people are playing against you or they're taking advantage of you. Are you playing too tight? But if you're an experienced player and then you're really confident about your game, like you would never feel that way. It's just how poker is. Like sometimes when you're in that spot, you know, it's just, you know, a lot of shit gonna happen to you. Bad things gonna happen to you. People are gonna hit their draws. Against a bad player, we'll call it defending with King 5. Here we're just gonna do a c-bet, small c-bet. Should take it down very often on that kind of board. We don't. I don't see a reason to second barrel here. Without equity, it's gonna. And here we do get called again, and then we don't have anything, but we're gonna c-bet with overcards and gut shot. And here we're just gonna check and give up. He's never folding that. And sometimes I even think a session like this, or we're gonna second barrel this turn actually, and possibly get it in. We're gonna second barrel this and possibly get it in, depending on what it is. He does jam, so I guess he had like a set king queen, not king queen, like queen jack. Just have to fold here. Unfortunate, running into a nuts, like his nutty range again. I feel like sometimes a session like this is actually more beneficial than a session where we just crush it. because that makes you, make you see like this happens to everyone, and then how you're supposed to deal with this when this is happening to you. Like here, like we raised and we got 3-bet, right? But here with ace-4 suited, it's actually a perfect place to 4-bet. So we're gonna do a 4-bet. We block aces, we block ace-king, and then here we rivet the nuts. So it's just gonna bet for value. And here we do facing a jam, and then we just have to fold because our 4-bet was just a 4-bet bluff, and then he jammed, so there's nothing we can do. Just fold. Nothing wrong with it. It's a right play at the right time in the right position. It's just that this time it didn't work out, but doesn't mean that the next 3 times it won't work out. Ace Jack suited. Just gonna call here against this player. We flop the nuts. Rainbow too, so pretty good flop. A bit of raise. So that way we can get his stack. And then here on Jack 4, we're just gonna check behind. And when we have the nuts, people just fold. Especially on that kind of board, like King, Queen, 10, like it hits all his raising range. But yeah, he just, doesn't have it. And then that's also another sign when you're running bad, like when you have the nuts, people just never has it. Even though like they're supposed to have it. As a original racer on that kind of flop, it connect with him really well. Here we're just gonna call with aces on the turn. And then obviously calling a river too. And here against 4-3 player, we're just gonna fold. He does bet again, we're just gonna call. And he was bluffing, so we do get extra money. Here facing a dunk bet with the ace of club, we can continue. Turn a gut shot. When he bets again, I feel like he has a king, but sizing is kind of small, so we can still call. And then depending on what the river is, and then we can decide what to do. Here we're gonna put in a 4-bet with kings. And here on the second barrel, we're just gonna fold. And here we're probably gonna try to bluff at it. Not sure if he's folding a king with this kind of bet. He's folding like any like pocket 7, pocket 8s, those kind of hands. It does work, so I guess if he's a good player, he's folding a king there with that sizing. Here we're just gonna call and try to flop a set with our 5s. We don't flop. We don't flop it, but this is a pretty good flop for pocket 5s. Gonna call this bet. Actually, we can put in a raise, but we're just gonna call. Pretty good turn. We have open-ended now. Ace-4 suited, we can put in a 3-bet, but here we're probably just gonna fold. That's a huge bet. Obviously he can have over pockets, but he has a lot of ace-king here as well, and then we do have extra equity with the open-ended straight draw, so we can win with the deuce, we can win with the 7, and we can obviously win with the 5. So we're just gonna call. Not gonna fold yet because we do pick up extra equity. And then we do get there on the river, which is nice. Hopefully he had aces here. I do think he still have like a lot of ace king when he bet the turn that big. So we might have the best hand all along, and then now he jammed and it's pretty easy call. He does have pocket kings. We do win the pot, which is nice. That's a very good river. But like I say, like even against pocket king, we still have a lot of outs. All the deuces, all the fives, all the sevens. And then there's always the chance that he was barreling with ace king there. So I think calling the turn was mandatory. Do I prefer zone to regular pity table? I actually don't have a preference. The reason why I play zone is because I can get way more hands in terms of hands per hour. And depending on what kind of player you are, if you're like a winning player, what you want to do is you want to play as many hands per hour as possible. So that way you can get the... So let's say you're a sly winner. Like, let's just say you are 1 big blind per 100 winner. But if you times that by 4, then it's 4 big blind per 100, right? So the only reason that you're multi-tabling and then try to get as many hands in as possible is because if you're a winning player and then you just play as many hands per hour as possible, you just make more money per hour. On regular tables, because it's a little bit slower. So one blitz table, like one zoom table, is equivalent to like 3.5 regular tables. So we're playing 4. So that means 14 regular tables in terms of hands per hour. And if you're a winner, playing that many tables, just quadruple or like 10x you're winning. Here we can 4-bet or fold against this guy. I'm just gonna fold. So it really depends, but if you're not sure, if you're a winning player, if you're like break-even player, you can even do this for more rakebacks. So the benefit of Zoom is just that you get more hands per hour. It's not like there's no preference. I can play regular table as well. When I was playing online professionally 10 years ago, I was actually a regular table player because there's no Zoom back in the days. So it really depends. But people in Zoom, they're a little bit more solid, so you have to like have a stronger pre-flop game versus regular table. We just do a small c-bet with aces here on this dry board. So yeah, I don't have a preference. Jack on turn. He has very little money. We're just gonna barrel and get it in. Hopefully he doesn't have king jack. But if he does, so be it. There's nothing we can do in the folding here to that sizing. So yeah, no preference. It's the same game pretty much. It's just that when you play Zoom or Blitz or whatever, you just have to be a little bit more solid in terms of your pre-flop range and your pre-flop game. Because people just don't make as many mistakes versus regular table. Does that answer your question? Here facing a 3-bet, definitely gonna put in a 4-bet. Here with the gut shot and backdoor flush draw. Against that sizing, I just gonna fold. And here we're gonna put in 4-bet. Another thing is that when I'm streaming, like when I play 4 Zoom table, it's a lot of action. I know it's probably a little more complicated for somebody who's just starting to learn online poker. It's way too much action and too fast. But I want my viewer to see as much action as possible. So there's a lot of situation where like what I'm doing in this spot, what I'm doing in other spots, right? So it gets like more hands in, and then so my viewer can see a lot more situation. Because I think, because when I was learning, I want to know how a good player handle different type of spots, right? Rather it's going for max value or trying to pot control or even like when to lay down. Like you have to basically watch somebody playing the whole session to see like all the situation. And sometimes, even if you see a session for like 3 to 4 hours, you don't see like tough spots, right? Because sometimes like the game is just very smooth. Against this sizing, I want to call in with ace6 suited in position against the fishy player. He does check. We're just gonna bet a little bit here. Small c bet, not too much. Here we do get 3 bets. Queen jack suited in position, we can call. Does check, and then we're gonna barrel this turn actually. And we do get call again. Hopefully he's just doing this with ace king, ace queen. He does have pocket nice. That's unfortunate. Here we're facing 3 bet. Pocket tens you can 4 bet. I'm leaning towards calling though. I think pocket 10 is too strong to 4 bet here. Not too strong to 4 bet. Like it's strong, but it's not that strong. I don't want to turn our hands into a bluff. And here we got check raise. Here we're just gonna call. Very nice. We turn a set, which is the nuts. Here we got check raise. Against that check raise sizing, we're probably just gonna fold because I feel like he has a lot of queens, kings, and then playing trappy this way. If he's bluffing, I don't know if he's raising this much. Here he does bet really big on the turn, so there's a very good chance that he has aces here, or pocket kings, pocket queens, and we do stocked out against those type of hands. And then he could definitely have like some overs and flush draw. Since we are pretty deep, we're gonna put in like at least a raise. And he does instant call, and then it's a very good river. He would never give us credit for a 9. So if he had aces here, I think we get to stack him. Because our shove here, on this board we're gonna see bet pretty big. We're pretty deep. Hopefully we don't run into like freaking straight or something. We're actually gonna jam here. He has a lot of like if we jam here, we have all the missed flush draws, and then if he had aces and kings, oh shit! Oh my god! I didn't click time. Oh my gosh, shit! That's a huge mistake. And here we do get a call. We're gonna bet turn and then just get it in. Oh my god, we just missed like 300 value there because we were talking too much. Oh my god, Jesus! I thought I clicked time. What the fuck? Oh my god, that's such a bummer. That's actually a huge mistake. Like, oh fuck. I'm super upset. I will probably never string again. Fuck! Like, we're gonna jam there. Like, 100% of the time he's gonna call, and then we just like fucking talk too much. Jesus. Oh my god, that was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah, he was like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh fuck, we missed 300 value because we were talking too much. Such a bummer. Here we're just gonna put in 4 bet. Yeah, I was trying to explain our process, and even on the stream, like we were saying, like he's never folding aces, kings there, because we have all the missed flush draw there when we jam, and he had aces or kings. He's always calling, like always calling that 300 shove on the river, but yeah, it sucks. Stream mistake. Here with the 4 spade, which is gonna check behind. Not really. I mean, $300. I mean, yeah, it's a huge mistake, yes. But you know, that's the thing you have to like. It happened like only a few times, but never to like, never in such a big pot though. Yeah, it's the thing about streaming. Like, I'm constantly trying to explain our thought process, and then sometimes it happens, but it kind of sucked that we missed 300 value, but $300 is still nothing in a long run. You know, sucks, but what can you do? Like, even he was talking about it, he's like, what the fuck, he put me on nice? I was like, no, fuck no. I'm gonna 3-bet a little bigger because we're a little bit deeper, obviously. Yeah, pretty tilting. Missed 300 value, and then especially we talk about it on stream too. If he had aces, he's never folding. We have all the missed flush draws, but didn't happen. It sucks. Here we're just gonna bet pretty big. Pretty tilting, but 300 bucks. Yeah, it's one buy-in. Kinda suck, especially like we're running like shit. Winning that pot would definitely help today's session, but flush gets there, so barreling this turn is kind of like a mistake. So we're just gonna check behind. Here against 2 players, we're just gonna call. Yep, missed $300. Let's see at the end of the session. That's probably the difference between having a winning session and losing session. That's $300. Big $300 difference. But yeah. Here we flop trips. Just gonna small cut. This actually is a mistake. Like, he's way deeper. I should bet like way more here. This is another mistake. Just gonna barrel here. Good thing the turn was pretty good. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Actually, I'm gonna check it out later. The auto enable time probably gonna save me. I mean, here, when the 10 hits, I think it's better to check here, because we have all the missed flush draw, and then I think he has all the missed flush draw. So if we check, and then if he has like missed flush draw, like king queen or like king queen of hearts or something, he's gonna try to bluff the river. So betting here is a mistake, I think, because if you bet, like only jack is gonna call you, right? And then we already had jack, so the chances of him having another jack is very slim. And then now, like, we check and then we induce a bluff, and then we can call easily. And then we do induce the bluff. So checking here is definitely the best play. Like, betting the river is a mistake, especially when the 10 gets there. It's just a mistake to bet, because when you bet the river, he almost always have to have a jack to call you. I think 10 is a fold even a 10 is a fold. So if you're betting to chop, like, what's the point? Like, if you're betting to chop, like, the only hand he's gonna call you is gonna be a chop. everything else would just fold. So what's the point of betting? We're not getting value for anything. And then on the river, everything missed. Like flush draw missed, a lot of king queen misses. So we could have all these hands. And when we checked, and then he's gonna try to take it away, which he did. He made the right play. It's just at the wrong time because we actually had the jack. If we had king queen of hearts there, then that bet is perfect. And then his eights was basically this his pair eights basically got demolished on the turn on the river. And then we got extra $110 in profit because we check it to him. Yeah, but I think I'm pretty good in terms of getting over like tilted situation. Like I'm almost like almost never get on tilt anymore. I mean sometimes, but like most of the time I just don't get tilted. Like that was pretty tilting, right? The pocket tens hand was like super tilting. But like I almost don't feel anything. Like we didn't play any differently after that hand, and it just doesn't bother me that much. I mean, yes, it was a mistake. Yes, we missed $300 in value because we were dumb enough to misclick the time, and then we thought we clicked it. But it doesn't. I don't get tilted because of that. I mean, we missed $300 value, so what? We can easily win that bet, just, win another stack. I mean, whatever happened already happened, right? So there's nothing you can do. Here against this guy, really passive station, we're just gonna do a small c-bet. Expect to just win the pot here very often. He does call. Flush gets there. Don't see a reason to barrel this turn. We're just gonna check behind. Not the best river, but I'm just gonna check behind. And we do still have the best hand. Here we're gonna see that with the bottom pair. I'm just gonna check. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the session today so far. Hoping you guys have a good Friday. Here, just gonna bet for value. Here we're 3-betting with 7-8 suited. On this flop, easy c-bet. Expecting to have a jack there when he call. Maybe queens, something like that. He does have a jack. Here on this flop, we actually just gonna put in a c-bet. I expect him to fold a lot. If he doesn't have a clubs in his hands and no pair, he's most likely folding. Good thing we just pick up the pot. What's going on? Raise, call. I assume this guy's gonna call. Shall we jam with the eights? I mean, squeeze with the eights. I think it's actually a good play. I don't want to play eights against like 4 other players, so let's just pump it to 30. As long as this guy fold, we should get through. This guy probably gonna call, but he has a small stack anyways. This guy, maybe he'll call, I don't know, but hopefully he fold. Against this guy, we're pretty comfortably just gonna jam any flop. He does call, and we do flop middle set, which is nice. I was gonna jam any flop against this guy. Since this guy is in, we're just gonna do a small c-bet. We basically have the nuts here. Like, there's no way people have pocket kings here. And then this guy is probably never folding a king. If he hit the king, he's never folding. I guess he just have nothing, but not calling that. Against the ISO raise, I think we can call. Normally this is a fold. If this, but there's a really fishy player limp, so we're just gonna call it and see a flop. I expect to see a flop three-way. We do flop open-ended, not the greatest open-ended, because queen is pretty much dead. Because we have to assume someone has an ace, so queen is dead. We can only hit a 7. Against that sizing though, we're not folding yet, because we do have a backdoor flush draw, and then we can hit a 7 for a straight. We don't get there. We pair our knights, which is pretty useless on this flop. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Don't really have that many viewers yet because I just get started recently, and then the reason why I got started is just because I want to record my session and then how I do during this journey. It wasn't for like gaining viewers or something like that. Of course, more viewers is gonna be nice, but that's not the purpose. We're just gonna call with the ace queen suited here. 4-betting just turn our hand into a bluff doesn't really make that much sense. Pocket deuce blind versus blind out of position is not the greatest. We never get the good flop. Here we're gonna just put in a c-bet, and we're gonna defend with a7. And we do flop a boats. So I guess Poker Gods is giving us an opportunity because, you know, we misplay that. I mean, we check that, you know, nutty hand against aces and miss 300 in profit. Here we're just gonna call. And here we're gonna barrel. Here we're just gonna check behind. There's no reason to bet this turn. He jammed the... Oh, this is kind of weird. King queen here, I don't think is the best hand. It's kind of tough. Here we're just gonna put in a race. Just gonna fold for king queen here. He has a set a lot here, and then we're drawing dead against a set. Really good run out. I'm trying to think what we do. If he has an ace, backdoor flush does get there, so it might be a little bit scary. But we're still gonna jam though. Here ace queen 4-betting is fine. Calling is fine as well. We're just gonna go for a call. Obviously not folding this flop. I think the stream is like a little bit of delayed, so I don't think people can really cheat. but you know, king is actually a pretty good turn because that makes him less likely to have ace king. Not saying he can't, he can obviously still have ace king, but it makes him less likely to have ace king. We're down like 300 something. If we win that pot, we'll be breaking even, which is amazing because consider how bad we were running earlier. But yeah, we didn't win that pot, which is okay. I'll play like 1,000 something hand. Probably gonna wrap up the stream pretty soon. I'm supposed to be playing like some smaller stake, $10 buy-in game with one of my best friends. We're already like 30 minutes late, so gonna try to wrap up the session. It's a pretty good session. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of value hands, a lot of value hands, a lot of bad beats, a lot of top spots. Hopefully you guys get something out of this session, and I stream every day at 9 PM Monday to Friday. Sometimes I'll play on weekends as well, depends. Try to spend more time with my son during weekends. If we have a heart, we can call, but since we don't have a heart, we're just gonna fold. This is a pretty shitty flop. We're just gonna check behind. People just rarely fold on this flop. We do pick up backdoor flush draw, and we're gonna barrel. Here we're just going to go for a small C bet. We do get call and we don't get there. Just gonna check back. Oh shit. Chop chop, nice. How can dude, this guy, is he on our string? Shit. Oh, he has an open-ended. Okay, that makes sense. Here we do get check raised. Just gonna call, not folding ace jack with the ace of heart in our hands. We do pick up a gacha straight draw as well, and obviously we're calling this. I don't think we're folding the river because all the draw miss, unless he has specifically ace 3. Just gonna call. Oh wow, that sucks. Oh yeah, thank you. See you next time. I'll probably stream tomorrow. Have a good weekend, man. Let's see how we did today. I expect pretty bad. Oh, it's actually not that bad. We actually had positive EV, so we were down like 330. So think about it. If we win that pot, we'll be down like $30, which is like almost break even, and then our EV will be like positive 380. But after a session like this, like we're only down like 332, which is amazing because consider like how bad we're running. Like we're at the worst, we're down like almost 1,000 at worst, and then we grind all the way back. yeah, and then our EV was still positive, even without the extra $300 that we're supposed to get from that hand. We still managed to have a positive EV session, which is quite amazing, I guess. Ace queen, we lose 2 jacks. All in pre-flop. So yeah, our ace king loses to pocket kings, and here we have king. We turn the nut, not the nut. We turn top set on turn, and ran into ace queen against short stacks. Just ran like shit, man. I mean, not going around with, not trying to sugarcoat it. Just ran like shit. This hand, pocket tens, supposed to win like 440 here. Unfortunately, we messed up, but it's okay. It's a price that I pay for streaming and explaining our thought process to our viewers, and I'll do that always. Even if I make the mistakes again, just for the sake of explaining what we do to our viewers. So even though like we checked the river by accident, but I still explain that we were gonna jam there 100% of the time because we have all the miss flush draw there. So I think it was worth it. As long as you guys enjoy the session, that's all it matters. See you guys next time.